Hey, my beautiful Air Tribe, Shakima in the building. Hey guys, just wanted to stop in. I'm trying to bang out these April Tarotscopes for four of the different tribes. I'm trying to sort of keep the momentum going because consistency has not been my thing. If you've been on my channel for a minute, you kind of know this is something that I'm working on throughout 2019. I'm a Pisces, so I tend to be flippant. My energy doesn't really sort of sit still. No excuses, just letting you know that I know who I am, I know how I tend to be, and I'm working at it. Okay, y'all just stick with me, hang tight. So, I'm going to be doing a Celtic spread with the tarot cards for my air tribe to give me an indication to see what's to come in the month of April. If you guys do like my technique, if you like my style, then definitely be sure to comment, like, share if you dare, or even if you care, and subscribe for more so that you can sort of, keep up with the momentum of things. Also, definitely be sure to hit the notification bell so that you can be in the know for every time I'm actually doing these awesome vids for y'all. Okay. Also, obviously, these will be some general sort of readings. I'll be pulling some energy cards for the different zodiacs within the air tribe. So that would be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Just so that we can get some insights for you guys. What I didn't do actually for Earth Tribe during their reading, because things kind of, I had an interaction with a subscriber during the reading, so I didn't manage to pull a message from the universe, but we kind of got very deep into the cards for Earth Tribe and spoke a little bit about some of the interaction that will be going on. But for y'all, we'll definitely be doing a message from the universe just to sort of give you guys some insight in terms of what's to come with that. And we'll be closing out the space with a love and light scripture as far as advice and working with the energies throughout the month of April. Okay, so like I said, these are going to be general readings, guys. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, the details are in the description box below. You can do so via my website. That's www.shakimabrown.com. And if you guys would like to, I guess, vibe with me, find out a little bit more about some of the products that I do, this is a new candle that we've got in this space, actually. This is a protection candle. This is a manifestation protection candle. It's actually black and green wax, but because the wax is so sort of enmeshed in each other, you can't actually sort of see the variation of the coloring on camera. But if you guys are interested in stuff like that as well, again, details are in the description box. You can drop me an email via shakima8@gmail.com. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to kick off this space. I stopped, if you guys, there's a few people that may sort of be from my original tribe. We're just going to sort of set the space and get into the reading for you guys. No tea. Got my bottle of water. That's definitely a great trick that I'd advise for you guys as well. If you guys are sort of working with the energies for manifesting, especially for anybody that's sort of dealing with stuff like anxiety and depression, utilizing the magic and power of water is actually a great way to be able to overcome those types of challenges. So just kind of stop in and remove the label, because when you're sort of drinking in the water, if you imagine you're sort of putting the label of that I guess the product itself, that's literally what you're manifesting, more of what you're putting into your body. So if you want to sort of label it, because we have to be very careful about our labeling, guys, so just pop something quickly on the label and that will get you going as far as working with letting go of any anxiety. Okay, so we're just going to set the space and get going, guys. I ask that only beings of the highest and purest of vibrations are present to provide me with the guidance and insight needed to be able to relay and convey the messages for my air tribe. I ask that I'm utilized and used as a mediumship vessel throughout the process of the duration of this reading. It is so done. Ashe, 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 guys. All right, so let's get right into it. I always love the smell of that. That's some white sage going for us, guys, clearing the space. getting everything going. So let's go straight into it. One of the things that I can see is that this is actually going to be looking into recent breakdowns in communication. Some of you have been having really sharp communication with the people around you, or even sort of mental thoughts. Mentally, you've been you. I'm gonna say this because how they're showing me is that you're actually sort of having conversations in your mind about the people around you, and the communication's been really quite sharp and abrupt and quite, it's almost argumentative, if you will, very opinionated. So look out at being judgmental throughout the month of April, okay, my air tribe, because you are going to be going through a transition around that, I guess, area of your life. You are going to be sort of readdressing certain struggles with that for yourself. You're going to be looking at your beliefs and your group identification, some of the things that needs to be closed out. Those are some of the things you're going to be working at, and I think you're going to be sort of reanalyzing yourself to acknowledge that what you are looking at as a means of judgment in others are actually things that you are projecting from yourself, basically, things that you don't necessarily want to address within yourself, and you're kind of projecting the experience. So spirit, I'll put it to you like this: spirit's kind of calling you to show up for yourself. Spirit's really sort of saying, look, like, this is the area that you're really sort of messing up. This is the area that you're falling short. You said that you wanted to become this person. In order to become this person, I need you to work on this habit or this trait, but you're busy, as spirit's bringing you challenges, so that you can realize that you're busy making judgment on the people that are coming in as a reflection of these traits of you. And spirit's really going to be sort of checking you on that throughout the month of April. Okay, so let's have a little look and see. Any, here we are. What is the divine guidance for my air tribe throughout the month of April, spirit? What is the divine guidance? Let's have a little look for y'all. Okay, so this is all about making sure that you can sort of plan ahead, making sure that you are in the know of things, making sure that you can sort of see beyond your current situation and your current circumstances. Just kind of how he's looking out and seeing the expansive vision outside of just being where he is. That's kind of what you guys are going to be doing. You're going to be really sort of expanding your perspective throughout the month of April. And I want to say that for some of you guys, you're really going to be sort of building on your enterprise. You're really going to be sort of working intensely throughout the month of April. But it's not going to be working hardly. It's going to be working smartly. It's going to be working a little bit more. How can I put it? I'm trying to think of the words. It's going to be, I see you sort of working a little bit more efficiently in terms of making sure that you're meticulous about dotting your I's and crossing your T's, basically. It's more a case of you sort of, again, they're just saying you're working smarter, not harder. What I can see with it as well, because I'm seeing something in my mind, but it's more a case of you sort of making sure that the preparation is together. So you're going to be working through prep throughout the month of April, guys, because I guess after this month, you're going to find yourself actually being able to manifest from that blueprint that you're going to be creating throughout the month of April. So make sure that you sort of pay close attention to your intuition, to your guides throughout the month of April, because they're really going to be preparing you for what's to come, I guess, for the rest of the year. That's what I'll say, y'all. Okay, so what is the divine guidance, spirit? Okay, you guys are restrictive. You guys are very, very sort of, I get the sense that you guys are quite annoyed about certain circumstances that are going on around you. And you're kind of not, you're very rigid. That's the best way that I can put it in terms of your mental perspective. You're very rigid, and I get that. That's because they're saying to me as well, they're saying it's because you keep judging the situation around you, you keep judging the circumstances, so you're not allowing for it to flow. Maybe take a step back and give yourself an opportunity to sort of see things from a different perspective, so that you can reanalyze things, so that you can readjust your beliefs, so that you can really look at your, I guess, your conformities. How do you see yourself within the world around you? How do you see yourself amongst the people that you find yourself spending most of your time with? Those are some of the things that are really going to help you to sort of see what are some of the obstacles to your plans? What are some of the obstacles to your goals? Because those are some of the things that are causing delays to this person that you're trying to manifest, to this version of yourself that you're trying to manifest. And you'll actually find that you're the one holding yourself back. But you are going to allow for yourself to go through a process of a transition where you're just literally sailing into the new version of self by doing the prep work, guys. Like, you've completed the cycle now. It's a case of you integrating all that you've learned from that cycle, those lessons, and really taking that with you into the next version of self. And not necessarily, not to say don't look back, but don't sort of carry the weight of it with you, you know? Let's have a little look for you guys anyways. What is the divine guidance spirit for my air tribe? Where are they in the month of April and what crosses them? As clearly as you can. Where are my air tribe and what crosses them? Okay. For you guys, where you guys are, you're being a little bit more stealthy about your approach to things. And this is one of the things that I was just saying. Don't look back. As you're moving forward, do not look back. One of the things that I can see is that you are sort of taking your challenges and you're facing them head on throughout the month of April. And it's more a case of you kind of, how can I put it? It's a case of you making sure that you've got all your shit together, for lack of a better way of putting it. You're going to be utilizing the month of April to sort of collect all your plans together. There's going to be some delays because you're going to be collecting your plans together. And it does mean that as far as decision making, you'll find yourself being limited as far as making decisions. I see you being more indecisive. I see you being a little bit more sort of carrying too much to be able to make an ultimate decision. What I can see, however, is that you are going to basically be at a place where you can start to really address your ability and tendency to be a little bit disorganized. For some of you, I can see that there's been some financial setbacks for you. And those are some of the things that you will be recovering from, not in the month of April, though. I want to make this clear. You're going to be working towards that financial recovery. You're also going to be working towards a spiritual recovery as well. I see you sort of blocking emotions that are really going to help you in terms of moving forward. If you could just let them come in, if you could just let them overflow in the correct order, it actually gives you the opportunity to be able to just relieve the vessel. It gives you the opportunity to pour out what doesn't serve you at this point. And what I'm seeing with it as well is that if you're able to do it in moderation, you'll actually be able to sort of do it bit by bit, purge your emotions bit by bit, okay, throughout the month of April. When you find yourself getting stressed out, when you find yourself getting a little bit overwhelmed by situations, just purge it bit by bit so it doesn't feel so overwhelming for you, because what it seems like you're doing is blocking it because it all feels too much to sort of process all at once. And it's not really sort of giving you an opportunity to kind of focus on the long-term vision of things. It's not giving you the opportunity to I guess work towards what it is that you're trying to create. You're sort of doing it, you're doing the actions to create what you want, but then you're blocking yourself emotionally, which means that you're creating obstacles for yourself. You're blocking your blessings, guys. Like, let's not do that, okay? If you just pour this out bit by bit, a little bit at a time, you'll be surprised to see where you are by the end of the month of April. We've got the pink full moon in the month of April on the 19th as well. So that will be a really great time for you to utilize that to purge anything that you have in excess as far as emotional baggage that you're carrying, because you're carrying a lot of shit from the past. I'm going to say that much. And it's affecting your current situation and circumstances in the here and now. So you just kind of have to be stealthy. You kind of have to take a tactical approach to the situation and make sure that you leave behind what is not serving. Outside of that, if you can't carry it with you, don't worry about it. It wasn't meant to come where you're going, okay? Let's have a look and see what crosses you as far as where you are. There are some betrayals that you are going to be assessing, basically, okay? You may even find yourself being a little bit deceitful yourself, throughout the month of April. So just be mindful of the process with that, because when we're dealing with blocked emotions, when we're talking about blocked emotions, there is some deception involved, because you are lying to yourself. The truth is, you know the things that you need to address on a subconscious level, but you're carrying it around out of fear that it's too much for you to handle in those moments. And it may very well be for you, a lot for you to handle all at once. That's why I'm saying do it in moderation. Where are my air tribe? Where are my air tribe spirit? And what crosses them? Let's have a look. What crosses my air tribe throughout the month of April? Okay. Okay, so there's a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going on. So let's have a little look and see, because it's a whole situation for y'all. Okay, so you guys have been disappointed about other people's generosities because they came with their own agendas. It's almost like they were giving you things, but it was a half-assed attempt, and you're now having to analyze that. And I see you being at a place where, because you're having to analyze it, it's kind of holding you back. I see you being sort of resistant to the change and unable to move on, because you're still, I'm going to say this. I feel like Spirit's giving you an opportunity to move forward, but you're still so focused and hung up on the shit that happened in the past. You're kind of, not allowing for yourself to sort of prosper from the situation, from the circumstances, the very same things that you're wanting to move away from, move on from. You're actually, you're going to be tested on those things. And it seems as though as the tests kind of show up, you're just kind of sat there saying, I'm past this, I've outgrown this, all of this stuff, but you're not actually reacting to the test to show exactly the same things that you're proclaiming, which means that you're not past it, which means that you very much need this experience to be able to evolve into the next version of self that you're trying to create. What I will say as well with this situation is that I do see you being able to get to a place of being happy about the things that are currently making you anxious. I do see you getting to a place where you're actually sort of, being a little bit more positive about the situations. I do see you walking away from certain people, places, and things. I'm going to say this. There's certain places that are not necessarily going to be conducive for where you're trying to go. And I think as well, those places are a reflection of some of the people that you're going to be moving away from as well. From what I can see, there's at least 2 to 3 people. For some of you, it may be more, because for some of you, I'm actually seeing between 4 to 6 people. So clearly, you have gone through a major transition in terms of, what you are sacrificing for this big arrival coming into your space. But I see some of you sort of letting go of the baggage with at least 2 to 3 people, where you're able to just allow for yourselves to balance the scales and get to a really great place of giving and receiving, and not being, I'm going to say this, you're going to be proceeding with caution, hell yeah, but at the same time, sorry, it feels as though you are going to sort of find yourself being open to the experience. Not, I'm going to say this, not entirely in the month of April. I think that this is like the start of this new phase of the relationship for you guys, where you're learning how to be open, where you're learning how to, I guess, receive the generosity. Again, like I said, you will be dubious, absolutely, with great reasoning, because these people have shown up a certain type of way in the past. So, it's natural that you're going to sort of question their motives, but don't allow for yourself to be stagnated because you aren't able to, I guess, see past what's going on in the situation. Okay, because I do see your spirit being unable to move forward because there's some generosities from the past situations that you are just, you're still questioning those situations, and let it go. It doesn't serve you to sort of stay fixed on it. Just leave it be. Okay, let's have a little look and see what's in the recent past for you guys. What's in the recent past for my air tribe spirit? What's in the recent past for my air tribe? Okay, we've got clarity, guys. So there's been a lack of direction for you guys in the past. You guys have been unmotivated. You guys have been out of control. You guys have had no self-discipline basically in the past, and you're about to go through a transition from that. You're going to sort of really go through a shift with that. You're going through a turning point. And I can see that that's something that was actually triggered this month, in the month of March, actually. And it was something that has been, I guess, I'm going to say this. It has a lot to do, because they're saying to me, this is to do with the spring equinox, the change of season, as well as the Mercury retrograde, because I think that the Mercury retrograde allowed for you to pour some shit out. Okay, in terms of your subconscious patterns, in terms of your subconscious beliefs about things, and you are now at a place where you are going to be sort of, I don't want to say outright that you're going to be making better decisions, but it feels more like karma's on your side. It feels like you are going through more of a positive turning point, because of some of the decisions that you made throughout this month, and going into the month of April, you'll be able to start seeing the progress with that. One of the things that I can sort of see as well, again, they're sort of saying that this is to do with your disorganization. This is to do with certain relationships and breakups. I'm going to say this because this is one thing that they keep addressing to me with this particular reading for you guys. For a lot of you that were going through breakups throughout, I guess, the month of March, I do see you guys being able to get a turning point in the relationship. I think that before, the relationship was lacking long-term vision. It felt more like, you guys were just creating from a place of your past patterns, your ancestral baggage. Basically, you weren't actually trying to make things work with each other. You were just more or less projecting your brokenness at each other. And what I can see with the situation going forward, because there was a lack of harmony, you're now moving into a place where you can harmonize together, where you can actually sort of have collective conversations together. Because I think the past stuff really burnt you out. That's what I can see. I think that being, undisciplined about the situation, you both have found yourself where you're completely just kind of, you have nothing left in the bank. You've got nothing left. Like, you've given everything to that situation. It's almost like you were rebels. You wanted a good functional relationship, but you guys weren't prepared to do the work, and you just kind of burnt yourself out trying that approach. And what I do see is that you guys are going to be a lot more resourceful. You guys are going to be able to be a little bit quicker, in terms of the manifesting of the kind of relationship that you guys do want. I can see that, there'll be a lot of passion with it. I can see there'll be some lust, child. Okay, throughout the month of April, I can see that you guys will be kind of rekindling romantically in that space. So for some of you that are about to get your, listen, I don't want to get all up in y'all's business, but I feel a lot of sexual chemistry and tension throughout the month of April. So there are going to be opportunities, if you will, for you to exert that sexual energy, and put that out there. Because I see the lust situation being something that you guys are really able to actually address. I don't see it being like pent up frustration, if anything. Okay. Let's have a little look and see what's in the near future for y'all. Okay, what is in the near future for my air tribe spirit? As clearly as you can. What is in the near future? Okay, there we go. Can't get no more clearer than that. Okay, so in the near... Yeah, what was I just saying to you? There's definitely going to be some lust in the air, guys. Look, there's definitely going to be some temptations. There is going to be some temptations throughout the month of April. I'm gonna say this in terms of like past relationships. It feels as though like you've got this main one, right? And this main one, they do you right, you know. And I think that you're going to find yourself being quite lustful after that situation. And that's for those of you that are in relationships where the relationships have kind of gone through a breakdown. For those of you that have been steady progressing in the relationship, I do feel as though you need to be mindful throughout the month of April, because there will be temptations showing up. It's an illusion, man. Like, the Matrix is trying to trap your ass to get you caught, okay? Don't let yourself be caught out here. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Okay, that's what I'd say. Like, for the most part, like, the temptation that's coming is more of a like distraction. It's not really something that's going to be like a long-term situation. Like, somebody's just trying to get themselves off. Okay, so do not put yourself out there to find yourself in a compromising situation that you may regret the morning after, the night before. Okay, that's what I'll say to y'all that are in like relationships trying to figure some shit out, where it's just not really sort of hasn't really been too bad, I guess, throughout the retrograde period, but there has been like some iffiness in terms of communication, but nobody's actually addressed the fact that the communication's been a little bit erratic. And because nobody's addressed that space, what I see is that, you know, when this temptation comes up, I do feel like the person, one party particularly, is really going to be contemplating it. Don't let yourself get caught up in the sauce, okay? Chill out. What I will say as well is that you'll be disappointed. You will be disappointed with it. For some of you, I can see that. For some of you that are in like Singleville, so my single face, my single air tribe, you guys are going to sort of see that the temptation was disappointing, anyways. Like it's almost like they looked better in the rose tinted glasses that you saw them in rather than what they actually appeared to be. So don't worry about it. You're not missing out on much in that regards. And they're sort of saying that as far as like a family situation for you singletons, there are going to be delays and you should probably hold off because this isn't a real situation. It's more like a test. So don't allow for yourself to get caught and trapped in a situation, because what I'm seeing as well is that you'll find yourself in a situation with someone where it's more of a friends with benefits type situation, and it's not really going anywhere. You know, it's not really they're not looking to make a serious commitment to you. So just be mindful of that going forward in the month of April, because I can see that there's a lot of deception sort of going on, and there's going to be some betrayals for people. So just be mindful how things kind of crop up. Be completely honest with yourself about your feelings. Don't block anything, because the only person that you're fooling in those situations is your damn self. Okay? I want to say that much. The only person that is being like, you know, disillusioned by the situation is your ego, assuming that it's getting away from something, because spirit knows everything, which means you know everything. Okay, so let's have a little look and see what's going on in your subconscious mind for the most part, guys. What's going on in the subconscious for my air tribe spirit? Oh god, y'all's got a lot going on throughout the month of April, y'all. But I can imagine like there's so much going on. Like, okay, so what I see with you guys, and this is interesting because this is, listen, April's going to be showing up relationship wise for you guys, because Spirit keeps showing me like mostly about relationship situations to do with you guys. Okay, so you're definitely going to be going through a process of soul searching. Again, look, y'all, like this is all about the relationships and the breakdown of it. Again, this may not actually even be romantic relationships as well, because for some of you guys, I do see you being in situations where even in partnerships, you kind of find yourselves being a little bit distracted, and it doesn't do you any justice. It doesn't do you any good. For those of you, as far as business partnerships as well, because they're showing me as far as relationships as well, is kind of lacking harmony. One person seems to be doing more than the other person as far as work. It's not really a team effort is what I'm seeing going forward in the month of April. It's not like complete. And this is what I was saying to you guys at the start. You know, you guys are a little bit dubious about somebody sort of sharing something with you, because they may just have their own agendas and you want to proceed with caution. So I can see more of how this reading's unfolding for y'all. But what I'm going to say is that as far as your decisions, as far as your choices, you are going to find yourself sort of being quite restrictive. You're going to find yourself being really sort of making sure that the decisions that you're making are very much in alignment with your true values. Okay, like you're not going to be out here, hopefully, I'm gonna say hopefully, because I see you being tempted, and some people will take the bait. I'm not gonna lie, because I see some people really actually going all the way there, and literally just at the end they're like, nah, I think I'm good. But it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot about, you know, how much you've grown with the situation. But what I will say is that it feels as though, right, some of you are really sort of soul searching about the discouragement that you feel about some of the things that you may be sort of sacrificing in the past. Okay, and again, I told you people, places, and things are going to be going throughout the month of April, simply because Spirit's been working towards this for a minute with you, and I think that you've just kind of been holding back. Literally, I'm hearing the theme tune in my mind, but yeah, they're just saying you've been holding back the whole process because you kind of had like sentimentality with these people, like a sentimental value. But they are showing that where you're going is definitely going to be something to be excited about. They are showing that is something that you're really going to enjoy. For those of you, I'm going to say this, for those of you that were sort of in a relationship trying to conceive, what I do see is that this month is a disappointing month. I don't see anything sort of coming to manifestation. That was one thing they just shared with me in the cards. So for those of you, Air Tribe, that were trying to conceive, the month of April isn't really the month, but I think that you'll find yourself being happy, because as much as you guys thought that you were ready, I think you'll find that the communication isn't necessarily where it needs to be for you guys to bring another life into the situation. So definitely just be mindful about that. And those are some of the things that you're really going to be evaluating as well, throughout the month of April. And I'm going to say this, like, really just kind of listen to your intuition, because what I can see is that, like, your subconscious patterns are really sort of shifting. You know, even though you see people showing up and being a little bit deceptive, you are at a place where you're not necessarily, like, how can I put it? You are sort of at that place where you're causing yourself anxiety. You're not really at that place where you're sort of sitting around wallowing, feeling sorry for yourself about it. You're actually actively doing some shit about the situation, and that's a good place to be. But just proceed with caution is what I would say, because like I said, there's some temptations coming in the month of April, and it's going to be more of a distraction from all the work that you've been doing, all the work that you've been sort of trying to do to bring this next version of self into manifestations. Spirit's going to be testing your ass. That's the only way that I can put it. Like, there's a test coming for you in the month of April, and I'm sending you all the love and intention, beloved, so that you can get past this obstacle. Okay, let's have a little look and see what's going on in the conscious mind for you guys. What is in the conscious mind for my Air Tribe? Okay. So, conscious mind for you guys, there's a reunion. Damn, this is what I was talking about, girl. Guys, there's a reunion. That person that I told you that gets you off and makes you feel nice, they coming back. They're coming back into the space. So if you were hoping to reunite with someone, I see them coming back into the space. Again, I'm going to say this though, it's definitely a distraction, because what I'm going to say to you with this situation, because even as I see it, like I'm being pulled, because you still have emotional connection to this person, and it's almost like they do things to your heart space, and when they come in, you just act a damn fool when they come in. Like, it's almost like you guys are, you know, really kind of, they bring out a playful side to you. They bring out a really sort of childlike side to you. And I think you appreciate that, you enjoy that, but at the same time, you have a tendency to get lost in their souls, and you can't do that because it's going to affect you in the long run. Okay, Spirit's asking you, guys, look, and I hate to point my finger because you know that's like putting some spells and stuff out there, but I want to say, like, this person coming back into your space, just be mindful, because, like, you need to make sure that you kind of focus on the work that you've been doing prior to this reunion. Like, when you guys were separated, what were some of the things that you were focused on doing for yourself? Make sure you stay true to that, and you know, really address that within yourself, because you owe it to yourself. Those are the things that you were focusing on when this person was focused on themselves. And I just want to put that out there. I feel like I need to, because for some of you as well, I do see like you reuniting with, as far as like work situations as well. I just want to address this. Like, for some of you that are in situations where you've kind of found yourselves, you know, in a position where you've been out of work, because I see someone that's been sort of like sat twiddling their thumbs type thing. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'll do that right now. Okay. But no, I'll say that being in the space really does kind of get you to a place where you're no longer sitting around sort of there on the couch waiting for something to come in. I can see that you'll actually be going back to a previous job situation. It may not be in the same sort of role. It may be you reconnecting with someone from your past job situation, and they're actually sort of hooking you up with a potential. So there's definitely going to be some options for you throughout the month of April, but I just want to address this, like, do be mindful, guys, because it seems as though like some of this stuff is really sort of asking you, like, are you going to take steps backwards, or are you going to focus on what you're trying to create moving forward? Okay, yeah, guys, they're asking, are you going to focus on what you're trying to sort of create moving forward? Okay. There is going to be financial opportunities for you guys coming in the month of April as well. I want to address that. So for those of you guys that, even if you've been out of work, I do see you being, being able to sort of regain your financial stability throughout the month of April. For those of you that have been out of work, for those of you that are in work, what I see for you is that you're getting a little something on the side that's coming through. It's almost like Spirit's going to be sort of giving you an opportunity to gain some extra cash, or at least pocket some extra cash for yourself throughout the month of April. Okay, let's have a little look and see what is in the atmosphere. What's in the atmosphere for? Okay, so for you guys, Air Tribe, interesting. There's some blocked emotions that are very, very overwhelming for some of you guys. Okay, that's what the atmosphere is sort of pushing for. Is pushing for a change, because the way that you are viewing the situation is from a perfectionist perspective, and perfect is subjective. So let's throw that shit out and like try and find something new that's going to be a little bit more conducive to what you currently have, rather than focusing on a hypothetical situation that is not your current reality. I'm sorry to be so harsh and blunt, but I just like to keep stuff true. I don't really like to beat around the bush about situations, but I can see that you're really sort of, and we addressed this already, you're really sort of stuck in holding on to stuff from the past and blocking off your emotions, and it's really causing severe anxiety as far as the atmosphere. And I think that those are the things that Spirit's asking you to address. Like, Spirit's almost going to be forcing you to address these things throughout the month of April. Yep, Spirit's going to be forcing you to address these things. There's going to be an inevitable end to your disorganized, you don't know how to decompartmentalize your feelings. Everything is just enmeshed all in one, and you don't know how to leave certain things where they need to go and not take the baggage of it with you. So Spirit's really going to be forcing an inevitable ending with that situation, and that's what the atmosphere is going to be like for you guys throughout the month of April. Okay, let's have a little look and see what your attitude's like. What is the attitude of my air tribe throughout the month of April, Spirit? What do you see as clearly as you can? What is the attitude of my air tribe? Okay. So for you guys, you're pretty burnt out. Okay, so this test has you guys thrown. It has you guys thrown, yep. Again, look, guys, we have the same cards kind of re-entering. This is like a recurring theme. So Spirit's definitely going to be making sure that there's an inevitable ending, and you're prepared to let go of your ability to be disorganized. You're prepared to let go of your dissatisfaction with your financial circumstances as well, because it was because you were so unorganized with your finances and budgeting and making sure that you had your shit together. That's why you kind of found yourself in situations. For some of you, I see that the disorganization and lack of prioritizing may have put you in situations where you've had to sacrifice relationships because of that. And when I say sacrifice, I mean they let you go, boo. No offense. I'm just saying that they couldn't be asked to sort of deal with or put up with the lack of prioritizing. Like, they just didn't feel like they're a priority in your life, and I can understand that. What's the point in being in a relationship if you're in a relation with yourself? So for the most part, some of you, what I do see is that, you're moving forward anyways. There's no longer any aggression, I guess, of you aggressively pursuing that person anymore, for the most part. For as far as the financial situation, I see you guys kind of really sort of sitting down. Like I said, you're starting to prepare, you're starting to plan, you are starting to really be a little bit more meticulous about how you approach your finances going forward. So it's not going to be a bad thing for you, but I do feel like it's going to be an inevitable end to you being all over the place. Like you're actually going to get your shit together because you're going to be so burnt out by how bad it's gotten. Okay, like you're literally going to find yourself almost like to the point where you are forced, because spirit's forcing your hands. Like you've learned you've learned like so much from the situation. You've learned so much from your disorganization. You've learned so much from, just kind of being in situations where you're just kind of, you're receiving financial opportunities, but yet you're finding yourself not being like committed to it. You're finding yourself kind of not being in balance. Your home and personal life isn't balanced with your work life. So it's one of those things where you're really just going to be addressing the situation altogether anyways. Let's have a little look for you and see what is in the hopes and fears. What's in the hopes and fears? Oh damn, y'all, there's a lot going on for you guys throughout the month of April. I'm going to pull cards again. For the most part, I can understand why my cards went all over the place. Y'all need to chill because you're carrying so much baggage. You can't move on from certain shit and you're just kind of overflowing with it. You think that you're kind of, like I said, you keep thinking that you're disillusioning yourself and you're like, oh, it doesn't really, it's not me, it's them. Let me tell you something. You're responsible for you. Take accountability for you. Like, forget what they're doing, because what they're doing is their lessons and their tests that they have to go through. Okay? Now that I put that out there, I'm going to get my cards and ask that question again so I can get a clear answer. And y'all just sit tight and make sure you're trying to cleanse your mind. Okay? Release that stuff, y'all. It's not funny. Look, guys, look what I even saw down there. Lack of accountability, man. This is what I'd say to you guys. When we're talking about accountability, we're talking about bank balance. Figure out what goes in your bank balance and what goes in the other person's bank balance. Because if you're putting everything on the other person and saying that it's all their fault why certain things didn't work out, then you never actually get an opportunity to do any better. And if you are never in accountability of anything, that means that you ain't got no responsibility for anything. So no change can come from the situation. You're like, actually take some responsibility. Like, definitely take some responsibility, because what I'm seeing with you guys, like, nah, I can't front. It's not fun, y'all. Like, it's enraging me. Oh god, like both my ears are burning. Like my guides are speaking to me from like both positions of self. Let's have a little look anyways and see what the hopes and fears are for you guys. What are the hopes and fears for my air tribe throughout the month of April, Spirit? Okay, that was a jumper, so I'll let it be. Okay, thank you. And I think that that speaks perfectly to the situation, guys. The old you is dying. Let it go. Let go of that person, man. It's time to move on. Come on, guys. You can do it. What I'm seeing is that if you let go of this, like, if you just kind of go with this transformation, if you go with this change, like, you'll actually find that it brings you to a place of being more focused on the goals that you're actually trying to create for yourself. It actually gets you more in alignment with the goals. You're no longer sort of conflicted with what you should do versus what people think of you. Like, you're just like, nah, this is me. Like, you are moving into your authentic self, guys. Come on, be open to the process. I know the shit's daunting because, like, authenticity comes with so much power, and you guys just want to give your power to the rest of the world and say, like, it's your fault, it's your problem, it's everything is somebody else's reasoning. Okay, but just literally, like, if you stop and take a minute, you'll actually find that the transition is going to be so beautiful. So beautiful. And I know that because you're having to be forced, it's going to feel like a really stiff and tough awakening, and you're going to just have to forgive the process. Forgive the process because you created it this way. You kind of left it this late for you to really sort of acknowledge some of the things that you really needed to learn. And although you knew your part and the parts that you played in the situation, and you continue to give it to other people and say that they were the reason why you can't get any better. They're the reason why your relationships can't get any better. They're the reason why your circumstances can't get any better. Rather than you actually becoming the change of that which you desire to see. So now you're going to be moving into that space anyway. So let's just have a look and see what is the outcome for you guys. Okay, that was pretty clear, y'all. Oh, that is beautiful. Look, the outcome. Guys, y'all are just killing me, okay? Y'all are killing me. For the most part, okay, my team Air Tribe, if you guys would just sit still for a minute. I'm sorry, that made me laugh, but that was just hilarious. I'm gonna say this, guys. My tripod won't even sort of stay still now at the minute. Oh, let's get it together. Yes, there we go. Can I leave it? Is that good? Damn, y'all. I'm gonna grab my cards because shit just got real. Okay. What I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted, y'all, was that Spirit's actually going to be giving you an opportunity. Like, you're literally getting an opportunity to, like, create something so divine in this space. You're actually manifesting new opportunities, new financial opportunities, prosperity. Like, you're really at that place where Spirit's going to be giving you a handout, so you can be like more focused on your goals during the process. All you've got to do is do the prep work, guys. Keep planning. Like, Spirit is going to be using this time to give you an opportunity to plan for what is to come. Okay, guys? So just be open to the process of it. Okay? Look, they're saying just be open to the change. Be open to the process of not being restricted anymore, not creating restrictions for yourself by, creating imbalances in your work and personal life. Okay? So, now that all that said, and that took us forever to get there, let's have a little look and see what is the message from the universe for you guys. Okay, what is the message from the universe for my Air Tribe spirit? What is the message from the universe? As clearly as you can. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. Okay? Just know that. Just know that. Like, fear is what you're going to be transitioning from. You are no longer a slave to fear. Listen to some Tasha Goddard? I think that's her name. No longer a slave to fear. I might just sort of put a plug in that in the comment section so you guys can I am going to put a plug for that in the comment section, because those are things that I utilize. Those are tools that I utilize when I find myself going through a difficult time or a challenge. Okay, so anyways, what is okay, here we are. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Okay? I choose love no matter what. That is what the universe is going to be doing for you guys throughout the month of April, y'all. Showing you that it loves you unconditionally. I witness the darkness and call out the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. My bad, y'all. My bad. I'm back. Funny enough, that was my own. That was my Air Tribe mister. It's almost like he felt me in the space talking about y'all. But yeah, so I'm going to try and wrap this up as quickly as I can so I can go into that space myself. But no, focus on love, my beauties. It's going to be so divinely amazing for you guys, like 100%. Okay? Whew! Damn, that was so intense, y'all. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm gonna pull some cards for the we're gonna start with Aquarius and work through. I'm going to pull a card, read an affirmation for you guys to work with throughout the month of April, and then we'll end it with a love and light card. Okay. What is the divine guidance for my Aquarius babies for the month of April, Spirit? What is the divine guidance? Okay. You'll come to sort of realize your value, and you're sort of going to be working on that internal resting by looking at the things that were causing you anxiety, looking at the things that you were attached to that were actually making you anxious, and the way that you were actually perceiving them. Okay. So let's have a little look, see what is the divine guidance for my Aquarius babies. Okay. Divine guide. Okay. Deception. Deception indicated, guys. This seems to be a theme for Air Tribe at the minute. What seems to be a daughter value is a deception. It's a deception to self. It's a deception to your truth. And you have to really address the things that you're attached to be able to release the anxiety, because where you're trying to go down, it's not real. It's an illusion that you're creating in your mind space, but because you're so anxious that there's no alternative, you're actually creating this as the only opportunity for yourself, and that's a lie. That is not the only opportunity. There is abundance ever present for you. So let's have a little look anyways. Okay. Well, the advice for you guys is that as far as moving away from heartbreak, you will be struggling. You'll be struggling to action it, but it is going to be a process for you. I can see that you are going to be encouraged to move away from the things that broke your heart, the people and situations that really kind of left you a little bit wounded in the heart chakra space. And you're no longer creating from that place. So that was the lesson that you learned from that situation. Take it in its stride, okay? Because it's now affected your ability to create from a place of brokenness, because you've learned so much from the situation, and you're no longer going to be doing that after the month of April. So it's not all bad. It's just you had to go through that process to get to where you're about to go. Okay. Well, let's have a little look, guys, and see your affirmation. So the affirmation for you guys, because it's about not taking action, because the card was in reverse. It's about not taking action in the month of April. So just be flexible and sort of try to allow for yourself to be available to the expansions that are going to be happening all around you. But the affirmation for you is that I am responsible for my own life. I take action toward my goals and my own happiness every day. Okay. So just keep doing that affirmation for yourself throughout the month of April, and you will be surprised to see where it takes you guys. Okay. Let's have a little look and see what is the divine guidance for my Geminis, for my Gemini babies. What is the divine guidance for my Gemini babies throughout the month of April, Spirit? What is the divine guidance for my Geminis? Okay, you guys are at a place where your sacral chakra is off, which means that you're not necessarily manifesting from your true calling, and you're not really sort of allowing for yourself to create as you truly intend. As far as your family situations, it's almost as though you're not speaking your truths. Like I said, there was somebody, when I started this, I said that there was somebody, and I could see that they were sort of having very negative thoughts about the people around them, but they weren't necessarily expressing those thoughts. And those are some of the things that you really need to sort of address throughout the month of April, and you kind of need to have the inner strength to be able to just do it tactfully. Okay, and that's what Spirit's kind of asking you to do. You're going into a place of really analyzing your part that you're playing in creating the current situations and circumstances that you're experiencing. Okay, let's have a little look anyways. What is the divine guidance for my Gemini babies throughout the month of April? Okay, so you are going to be able to utilize this as an opportunity to mend what has been broken, to address some of the things in your sacral chakra so that you can move past the hostilities. You're actually going to be able to get to a place where you're you're one of the air tribe that's going to be able to benefit financially from this, because you've kind of gone through some of the processing, you've gone through analyzing some of the emotional baggage. And what I see now is a case of patience for you, because you're going to be tested throughout the month of April, and you're going to sort of learn how much you have grown. Okay, so for you guys, the card is strategy, and it's in reverse, so you guys aren't necessarily needing to strategize externally. It's more of an internal strategizing throughout the month of April. So this is all about emotional strategizing for you guys, is what I'd say. Let's have a little look as well and see what the cards are sort of referring to with the situation, and bringing us a affirmation for you guys to work with throughout the month of April. What I will say as well is that you are actually releasing your ability to be indecisive throughout the process, so be mindful of that. Let's look at your affirmation for the month of April and see how it's going to help as well. The affirmation for you guys is to obviously internally strategize, work with your emotions rather than against yourself with it, and affirm, I plan the necessary steps to achieve my goals. I am willing to take action in that direction. I am flexible, persistent, and prepared. Okay, so just allow for yourself. I think that that's a really good sort of affirmation. Actually, it gives you guys an opportunity to sort of release any anxiety, release any sort of personal feelings of indecision with the situation, because when we sort of find ourselves stagnated with indecision, it is due to stuff like nerves and anxiety and fear of making the wrong decision. So yeah, just make sure that you internally strategize, work with your emotions throughout the month of April, and go with my affirmation. Can't remember what it said now, but you just had it here first. Let's go in and see the final message for the final zodiac within your tribe. Okay. What is the divine guidance for my Libra spirit? What is the divine guidance for my Libra babies throughout the month of April? So, Spirit's going to be addressing the way that you sort of look at things, the things that you are appreciative of, why you are looking. Well, firstly, it's going to address the things that you're appreciative of, first and foremost, in terms of your relationships with people. And it's going to be sort of giving you a greater appreciation for self throughout the month of April. And I think that you're going to be sort of really working on some self-love throughout the month of April. That's going to be like an intuitive guidance of connecting at a deeper level to self. So this is going to be interesting for you guys on a personal level. Let's have a little look for y'all and see. The ego is going to be going through some shifting throughout the month of April, and I think that you're going to be going through like some bruised ego. I'm going to say that much throughout the month of April, where you're going to have to sort of be okay with what's happening for you and just kind of be open to the process. Okay, so my Libra baby spirit. Okay, yep. Your ego is going to be going through a transition, and you're going to be able to really appreciate it at the end of the cycle. But for the most part, just kind of continue to be open to the process. Allow for your heart to guide you throughout the process of it, and you will actually be quite surprised to see where the next full moon brings you in the month of April. Okay. What is the divine guidance for my Libra spirit? What is okay? Okay, you guys are going to be going through a process of creating some alternative possibilities in terms of your reality, in terms of your matrix. You're no longer at that place where you feel stuck, where you feel taken aback by the situation. You're actually going to be actively sort of working on your relationships, because you're at that place where your root chakra is now effectively in balance, and your self-identification, your reflection of self is really what you're going to be utilizing to call in a soulmate, to call in the loved ones, and make sure that loved ones are able to sort of treat you in such light as well. And it's almost like, I'm not going to say you're going to be demanding it, but you are going to be making sure that if they're not sort of prepared to I guess, meet you where you're at with the situation and where you're now loving yourself, you are going to find yourself being like, look, I might just have to step away from this until you can really understand that I'm no longer creating from that broken place within myself. And you need to really understand that I'm learning how to realize my worth. Okay. Let's have a little look for you and see what your affirmation is, guys. So, your affirmation for the month of April is my first chakra is open to its perfect healthy state. I am strong, stable, safe, and secure. The Archangel Michael guides and supports me always. Okay, so that is the affirmation for you, awesome folks. And I wish you guys the best of luck with this alternative possibilities that you are creating for yourselves with the situation. We're just going to close out the space with a love and light card, and I'll leave you guys with a scripture as much as I leave you guys with some loving intention. What is the divine guidance for my air tribe throughout the month of April, Spirit? What is the divine guidance? Move boldly into a golden future, and using loving strength and discernment, that's how you'll be able to sort of be open to the process as it goes for you. Okay, what is the divine guidance for my air tribe? Okay. Use loving strength and discernment. That we already sort of addressed this just now. It's time to be more adventurous and play, and in order to do that, just use loving strength and discernment to guide you along the way. So the scripture on that is Galatians chapter 1 verse 10, and that reads, I'm not trying to win the approval of people, but of God. I'm pleasing people. If pleasing people, were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant. Okay, so that is the divine guidance for you guys, and know that the gift of love and light is within you, and that is where you're going to be calling forth your strength throughout the month of April to be able to navigate through the process for yourselves. Okay, my beauties, I hope that was good for you guys. That honestly, I felt myself go through so many different variations of myself. The phone even fell, y'all. The party was popping in here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it myself personally. So I hope it was as good for you guys as it was for me, is what I should really say. Definitely, if you'd like to sort of, keep up with my readings and all the stuff that I do weekly readings as well. I will be going live tomorrow for the Free Yourself Friday's session, where you'll be able to stop in for a one free question reading, and that will be between 9 and 10 tomorrow evening. I am doing a guided meditation with a group because I do stuff like that as well. So I just have to say between 9 and 10. I don't know when I'm going to be back and available, but I will try and make myself available for you and make sure that we can stick to a timing, because as you guys can see, I talk a lot. Okay, and I'm going to be the facilitator. So wish me luck, guys, that I can get back in time for our little date. Okay. But I love you guys. Honestly, it's been amazing. I hope that you guys keep being awesome. Make no apologies for being as, broken as you are. You're gracefully broken. There's nothing wrong with it. You're in the process of your transition. You are learning how to be a better you. That's all. Don't take any of it personal. It's all for the purpose of your personal evolution, as always. I love you guys. I'm sending you love, light, and positive intentions. Until next time. Mwah.